What is happening, fellow Reject Nation? It's Greg Alba here.
And it's John Humphrey over here.
So our Oats Studios journey continues with the Volume 1 edition of God's Serengeti.
Oh yeah, I know little about this except for that Charlotte Copley is in it.
Yes.
I saw the thumbnail.
So John, I mean, if you guys watched our first two reactions, you probably already heard us say it, but just in case, why don't you tell them what Oats Studios is?
It's okay. If this is the first time you're watching one of these, Oats Studios is the new experimental film lab created by Neill, Blomkamp and company. They specialize in these experimental sci-fi films. You can check them out on YouTube, on Steam. They have a lot of content on Steam, actually. If you want to get the full comprehensive experience, you can go on Steam. That's also where you can directly support if you want to. For $4.99 for at least each of the main shorts, you can access dailies, sound stems, behind the scenes stuff, 3D models. If you want to make your own stuff out of it, you can get involved that way. It's really cool. You can check them out on YouTube, Facebook, and Steam.
The reason why we're doing this too is because we've got a lot of requests to go check out Oats Studios Volume 1, all the short films. And Part 4, Zygote, is coming out today, which stars Dakota Fanning, who was actually in his BMW driver film. And also Jose Pablo Cantillo, who you've seen on plenty of things. Just look at that guy's IMDb.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited for it. We've gotten some pictures to see what it looks like up front. We saw the teasers for it, so we're like, yeah, let's start watching these because everyone's raving about it. Everyone really wants us to check it out. So let's do it. Let's watch Part 3, God's Serengeti. This one is the shortest one of them all. The other ones are 20 plus minutes. This one's only 3 minutes and 53 seconds. But hey, Charlotte Copley, man.
Oh yeah,
one of my faves. One of my favorite actors.
Their own nameplate.
We're going back to like the biblical days now? Like Noah?
Maybe.
Well, it'd be two of every animal. This is way more than two. Never mind. It's a platform. It's okay.
How's the book, sir?
Not technical for my taste. I like the chaos more, I suppose. Does have a good recipe for a black hole there.
Lovely, sir.
What's going on over there? Jeffrey, what's that little chap doing? It's so funny.
Chevy.
Little chap's been rubbing that stick for hours. Funny little thing. Bloody hell. That fire, Jeffrey. I didn't say you could do that. I give the fire. What bloody period is this?
Well, I believe it's about 200,000 years prior to when they should be given it, sir.
We'll snuff him out.
Yes. Let me go, sir.
Some bloody nerve. Send them back into their cave.
Yes.
All of them.
Oh, how fascinating.
Oh, surprising.
Yeah, shrink their brains again. Oh, for God's sake, what is it now?
I believe it's a rain dance, so we forgot to turn off the drought.
Really? All right, then. Give them some water, for heaven's sake.
Really?
Yes. They're parched.
It would be my pleasure, sir.
It's so excited over the teeniest little things.
Indeed, haven't we?
Dancing in a circle. Do it again, Jeffrey Spesmore. Look at the little loincloth. Go again, do it again. Do it again, do it again. Oh, too precious. Release the plague, Jeffrey.
Oh God, no.
Sir?
Release the plague.
God. Wow, this is really on the definition of experimental shorts.
Yeah. I wouldn't describe it as a comedy, but this one ramped up on the humor for me.
Yeah. It is kind of like a dark comedic look at how God runs the planet. Yeah. I mean, it harkens back to my own thoughts and fantasies I've had before.
Oh, yeah.
What if God is just like a person and we're just a smaller creation inside of this person's invention?
It's a great way to personify that. Just a dude sitting at the table, like, working on his book and watching life unfold.
And just kind of toying with life and having it play out the way he wants it to play out.
Well, there's
fascinating.
There's always that element, too, of, like, in AI stories, but any sort of, like, life that I created sort of stories where, like, there's you're removed from the ethics.
Yeah.
You know, because he doesn't seem to care that much, that he's sort of, tormenting these people in certain ways.
Yeah, no, they're just those little science projects, those little experiments. And I think that's like what a lot of the theme is of these Oats Studio things is what is creation and experiments. If you look at Volume 1, that's experiments. And Volume 2, this creation manifesting from grief, and then this one is just how God rules the world and stuff.
Yeah,
messes with everything. I'm really wondering if these are all connected or if they're just little short films that he's making.
Just each one's its own idea.
Yeah, and I like to see one of these turn into a feature film. This was really fascinating to me. I wonder if there's a bigger...
I hope so.
I wonder if there's a bigger story in mind to this specific one than just this, if this is a teaser for something. Because it's still under the Volume 1 edition.
At least, like, it's its own distinct thing right now, and I would love to see more of this. I mean, I love Charlotte Copley, and I think he brings such characterization to this. His God really does, it does make you wonder, like, he does feel very lived in the way that he plays it, and it does kind of have, like, you start to think about how you perceive the universe, and how, you know, you perceive the universe's attitude. If you were God and you just created everything, you probably wouldn't be too concerned while you're working on a bunch of other things. Like, this is just one in a series of things that you made.
This is really interesting. This is Blomkamp's first religious take on something.
Well, you know, it's I guess brevity is the soul of wit, and this is the shortest of them. But I like it when he branches into more comedic territory, or more darkly comedic territory.
Oh yeah.
There's always something a little grim at the middle.
It's not even God is controlling it, really. He's giving the orders, but he's not even doing a lot of the things. He has his butler doing it, the whole thing.
Well, that whole first thing about, like, well, why do they have fire? Take it away.
Yeah.
You know, my creation isn't behaving the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
It seems kind of like the way you would imagine God when you were a kid.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant by harkening back to my own little fantasies I had when I was younger.
Yeah, it's just the big man upstairs watching it all play out.
I think it's really interesting that, you know, because Charlotte Copley and Neill Blomkamp are a well-known duo. After the 3 feature films that you get with Charlotte Copley in a Neill Blomkamp movie, you would expect maybe, okay, this is going to be the sci-fi ultimate alien one or something. After watching the Oats Studios one, it gives you something completely different.
Completely opposite 100% of what you might be expecting.
Compared to what you would expect after the collaborations they've already done prior.
Well, and every time they've collaborated, like, he is completely different. It's like
a different character every time.
Yeah, is you know, kind of a, you know, dweeby, almost spineless guy at first, and then the character he plays in Elysium is just an animal.
Scary.
And then Chappie is
a child. He's a baby.
I know a lot of people don't like Chappie, and I know, you know, we've discussed our feelings about that movie before. I like that movie a lot. I think his performance as Chappie in the mocap is really underrated.
It's fantastic. And then here he's the man in charge.
He's the man in charge, and even so, he's just natural, you know?
Yeah, he's kind of having his little what's the word for it? Not satire, like, I don't know. It seems like it's a little satirical commentary. You know, who God might actually be.
It's definitely, poking at the concept of God and religion, and you know, changing the perspective is always fascinating, and so you're just peering in on God's study.
It's really making me wonder, are we just watching experimental short films? Are these going to connect in some way?
Yeah.
Or are we just wasting our time wondering if they're going to connect in some way? Either way, I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm really enjoying each one of these.
It's like, I'll be impressed if these build up to some kind of thing that they're all trying to do, but at the same time, hey, if they're just all their own individual things, I'm kind of down with that too. You
Or it
know,
might be that it's really this character of God is the one in control of this whole thing.
I could see
I can see it linking all back to that at the end of the day. Different world creations that this God keeps on making, and then having different playouts occur every time, you know? Different kind of aliens in Firebase, different kind of aliens in Raqqa, and now you're seeing the creator who's making all this happen.
Yeah, well, and you know, it sets up the idea of the world as one that has at least some not loose boundaries, but you know, like in Firebase, you see there's that like weird space-time rift thing that we're not sure exactly what the nature of that is, and that's something too that sort of further excites me. Like beyond the cool designs and beyond the, you know, it's easy to get engrossed by sci-fi, but you know, I like actually the variety and the different shades and tones that we're getting to see with this, and that's partly what excites me so much, is the fact that things are different, that they could be linked, that they might not necessarily be. The fact that I can see ways in which they might fit together, but they don't necessarily have to. Like, I think they've created something that's interesting and fluid and has the potential to grow, and I'm also interested to see, you know, if people start getting really involved and, you know, working with the materials and contributing back.
I want to be in one of these.
I would kill to
I
be
would
in
love
one of
to be
these.
in one of these, man. I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
I don't even care if it's a background role. I would love to be in one of these.
Because this is the dream right here. I mean, like they're making. It seems like they're just doing what they want to make, and they're pushing boundaries, and they're, you know, in different, you know, in tech and in storytelling and, you know, in visual imagery and in ideas. Like, this is what's exciting to me in terms of like filmmaking beyond just like the movie business.
Well, it just seems like Oats Studios is exploring humanity. Is there life outside of Earth? What is the spiritual life? And you see here, survival, energy, manifestation of energy. It's like all these different types of beliefs. I feel like all these have similar themes. These are short films that get you thinking.
Yeah, and this was a nice one to throw into after, you know, you have two really big, meaty sci-fi kind of epic, you know, different but still very sci-fi, and then this one is still kind of sci-fi but in a totally different way than the first couple. And then, you know, you go online, you watch the little infomercials, and even those are different still.
Yeah.
Because those look like actual commercials. You know, and those are a bit off the walls. And so, yeah, with the variety of tones and the variety of directions they're headed in, like, this is pretty magical to me.
Sarso Copley really behaved Maleficent in this.
That is not a sentence that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Man, he's a real hardcore Henry about everything.
Yeah. I guess
doing
you could,
this right, right?
Maybe he's definitely a part of the Neill Blomkamp's A-Team.
He was in that too.
He was. I like that movie too. Like one of the 10 people.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, you can make sure to go check out the Oats Studio channel on YouTube. You can catch their videos on Facebook.
And you can also go on Steam. You can check out all the stuff that you can see on YouTube and Facebook, and you can access the bonus content again if you want to get involved, if you want to support, if you want to make something cool yourself. That's the place to do it.
Now we're just anxiously waiting for Zygote to come out.
And to get enough time to maybe, you know, make something out of it. Like, if I had time, I would love to start pulling some of these things and seeing what I could piece together with them, you know?
Make up all our breakdowns and theories about everything.
Yeah, we'll make a sketch that turns into Vietnam style.
We should just call film theory to do an episode on this. Hey guys, subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. He is Dat John Humphrey on Twitter and Instagram, social media manager at Blumhouse. We finally have a Real Rejects Instagram, and we have a Twitter. And of course, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/The Real Rejects for exclusive perks and rewards. Loving the peeps over there.
Woo!